Good day everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Zeus and today I'm going to be showing you the Weekend League team that I've been running. It costs about 1.8 million coins on Xbox, not sure how much on PS4, probably a little bit more. It features a lot of tradable cards, but there's a lot of replacements you can use if you don't have these players in your club, and it's a really solid team to build for the Weekend League. I wanted to build a 4-2-3-1 team that was defensively solid but could also really hit teams on the counter, and this is the team I decided to build. So in goal we've got Manuel Neuer. He's fine, he's a solid keeper, nothing particularly special about him. He's not quite Mill, Edwin van der Sar or the Foot Mr. Hare, which is my go-to goal, but any ridiculous mistakes in the gameplay, so he's solid. The backline consists of David Alaba, who's incredible. If you haven't used him, one of the best centre-backs in the game in my opinion, at least for less than 1 million coins. Lena, the Winter Refresh card, which is from the League SBC, again, brilliant card. Lopez, Bustos, and Perez, the Sudamericana and Libertadores triangle. Again, brilliant players, work really well together and obviously get that perfect chemistry to each other. At the DM, you can have any Bundesliga defensive midfielder, so you can use any of these three, but I personally like using Michael Ballack. He's fantastic, really solid for me, played nearly 500 games now with me, so he's a fantastic player. Central Cam, I went through Michael Laudrup. It's because I got him in the Incredible Pack. Any icon works here. You could also use an Argentinian from the Serie A. You'll see why when you see the striker. Like the Dominguez card that plays for Bologna could be a great shout. Left wing, we've got Jadon Sancho, incredible card. If you haven't done him, I think he has a left wing in form. If not, his cam in form, his right mid card just as good. They're fantastic cards in this game. And then we've got Balotelli and Politano to complete the attacking trio. Again, these two cards are fantastic. I'll get more into the review of the individual cards and how they play during the gameplay. But for now, I just wanted to show you guys how I set up in game and how this team works. So this is the main formation I start games with. It's my more defensive setup. I set with the team up to basically to hold the ball, to make sure my opponents can't run through me with the likes of Ben Yedder, Neymar, and Mbappe, the kind of players you see all the time in Weekend League. So we've got Balotelli on getting behind, stay forward, because I like him to be up there and ready for counter attacks. Don't touch Laudrup at all. I have my wide cams on free roam and get into the box. Get into the box so they can get to those back sit crosses from the other. So you run down the line, smack it across the box of RBX or R1 square, I think on PS4. And then free roam has been something I've been experimenting with recently, and I've really enjoyed it. It just really helps when you're playing against somebody who's sitting on one depth drop back, because it means that it's unpredictable. Sancho could go deep, he could come short. It really allows you to add that unpredictability to the attack that allows you to break down really good defenders. In the defensive posture, I have Perez and Ballack both on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, and cover centre. Cut passing lanes is something I personally like to do because I like to defend by stepping out of the line and reading the passes that they're playing, as opposed to trying to tackle the ball itself. I just find it's more effective than trying to tackle Neymar and he just steps around me and smashes it into the goal because he's an incredible card. So, and then my fullbacks are on stay back while attacking, so it creates basically a 6 and a 4. I'm sure you guys have seen very similar setups to this in the past, but it works brilliantly. The two DMs work really well together. Ballack is the more reserved, Perez is the one that goes a bit further forward. When it comes to attacking, I shift it up to this with these kind of settings. Just put a little bit more pressure on getting my players a bit further up the pitch to put a little bit more pressure on their goal and defence. And the changes to the tactics are I put Perez on now balance as opposed to stay back while attacking. This means that rather than having to pass the ball from my defenders to Laudrup to then attack on, I can give the ball to Perez, who can kind of drag the ball forward with him, and which allows my attackers to get further up the pitch, which means that it's far easier to get in behind the opposing team's defence, because I don't have to take one of my attackers out of the game to receive the ball. And then my fullbacks, I put them on balanced and overlap, so that when Sancho and Politano are running down the wing, they can have an outside option in Bustos or Lena, as well as Ballack and Laudrup as the inside option. And it just gives you a little bit more, again, of that unpredictability in the final third. If you're not a fan of 4-2-3-1, but you would like to use a team based on this kind of, the one I've got here, I've also set up how you could potentially do it in a 4-1-2-2, 4-1-2-1-2, struggle to say that one, narrow. So playing Ballack as the holding DM, Perez and Laudrup as the box-to-box, and Sancho as the cam with Politano and Balotelli up front. That could work really, really well. It's not a formation I've used much this year, but I know a lot of people really like it, so that's how this team could set up like that. And then with the 4-2-2, again, similar sort of thing, put Laudrup as one of the wide cams, put Politano up front. But this team is very, very well balanced in attack and defence, and the transition between the two, and it's been brilliant using it so far in the weekend league. I've been using it at like a reasonable elo between kind of +5 to +10 form, and like I said, it's been brilliant. So we'll just get into the gameplay so you guys can see how it plays in game. Now, starting with the defence, it was unbelievably solid. Alaba, like I said, I think he's one of the best centre backs in the game. He's quick, he's agile, he always seems to be in the right place, getting the right balls. He's the only person I've consistently been able to beat Messi with when he does that. When Messi does that run through and then tries to step back inside for the finesse shot, Alaba always seems to just get a leg in the way. So he's definitely the central figure of this defence that really makes it tick. Liner is fantastic. I don't find it to be a problem playing with a right-footed player on the left-hand side because he's got a 4-star weak foot. He's got really good passing range. The only time you'll notice it is when he tries to clear the ball, he'll often clear it with his right foot, which can mean that he kicks it kind of inside, and that can be really easily intercepted if you're not careful. But other than that, really, really good card. If you don't particularly want to play a right back and left back, there's ways you can change it. You can play Roussillon, Alphonso Davies if you've got that card. I unfortunately don't. I really wish I did. But again, those two themselves on the left-hand side are brilliant. I haven't had any problems with them at all. With Lopez and Bustos, Bustos is brilliant. He's so quick, so agile. He's really helped me out in a few games. You'll see in the gameplay him skin defensive midfielders and then put the through ball to Sancho or Laudrup to get onto, and he was brilliant when it came to breaking down really stagnant defences. The only problem I've had with this team was Lopez. He was exceptional, and in some of the gameplay you'll see he'll step out and whip the ball off someone and then play a 50-yard pass out to the left wing, and you'll be like, yeah, this guy's brilliant. What a fantastic attacker I've got here from defence, like really helping out. But there's other times where he steps out really aggressively, gets stepped, and they score from it. And he was definitely a liability in the back line, despite the great things he did in terms of helping out the attack. So he would be the weakling in the defence. If you're going to replace anybody, that would be him. You could put an icon in there. Sol Campbell is somebody that I have in my club that I've played a lot in that position, and he's great, apart from the low agility and balance, which is why I think Lopez is a better shout than someone like him. But overall, I'd say the defence was the thing this squad was built on. It was really, really solid, really strong, and really helped in the attack by being so solid and having that passing ability. Both my centre-backs have great passing, and both the full-backs do as well. Moving on to the midfield then, we'll start with the DM in Ballack. A fantastic card, really, really fantastic card. He does so well in that holding position in front of the defence. I don't know what it is, because he hasn't got particularly high aggression or strength, but he just has this presence in the game where he's able to just rip the ball off attackers. He runs into the cam and just takes the ball off, and then because he's got the 4-star skills and the 4-star weak foot, he's able to Berber spin, Ronaldo chop, La Croqueta away from the press and then play a ball out wide, and it really allows you to take what is you getting countered into you then springing an attack on the opponent and getting the ball up the pitch really quickly. Like I said, he breaks the play up really well, he moves the ball on really well, he's just a great player playing in that central defensive role. Perez alongside him, who's more of the box-to-box ball progressor of the two DMs. Again, fantastic. I wish he had 4-star skills. I think it would make him a lot better. But he has this amazing ability to hold onto the ball when he shouldn't. You know, you've got Kante, Hullet, someone running at him, and you think he's going to lose the ball, and then suddenly he stepped around them and he's still got the ball, and he shrugged off the challenge. And that really, really helps you progress in the ball, because if you have to keep punting it to your attackers long, that you're not able to get as clear-cut opportunities. You're often smacking it into the box, hitting hopes and stuff like that. But if you are able to have that midfielder that can take the ball from your own penalty box, drive forward up the pitch, and then play the killer pass in, it really, really helps with that transition. And that's why I think Perez has been one of the best people I've used in that second CDM position in the 4-2-3-1 all year. He's been absolutely incredible for me, and he's a big reason why I used Bustos and Lopez in the defence, just to try and get him in the team on chemistry. The weakest link of this team, I think, is Laudrup, which is weird to say, because in the gameplay you'll see he scores a lot of goals, he gets a lot of assists, but there's something about him that whenever you're playing against a good player or a good team, he really seems to struggle. And I think that's because he doesn't have the best shot power. You have to boost that up. He doesn't have the best agility and balance, and you can't really boost both. You've got to pick one. And so he isn't able to take control of a game like you want your cam to. And if anyone was going to get subbed off, he was always going to be Laudrup, and that's why you'll see in the gameplay quite a lot of Aidan McGeady playing, because he was always the player I bought on for Laudrup. And the team was a lot better with McGeady in it. So if I was going to change any position, it definitely would be taking Laudrup out. And you could put someone like Zola, Del Piero, Hagi into that position to replace him. Any icon or any Argentinian in the Serie A, or even any Italian in the Serie A, because it can obviously link to Balotelli up front. But overall, I would say that the two DMs were the most consistent part of this team, and I loved playing with them. But I would look to get in a better cam in the central position, just to add that little bit of killing edge and spice to your attack that allows you to break down better defense. And finally, we're looking at the forwards, and overall the three of them were amazing. They're brilliant cards. If you haven't used any of them in game, they're just exceptional. Politano and Jadon Sancho have exactly what I want from a winger this year, which is that really, really close control. Left stick dribbling and using skill moves in tight areas. They're really, really exceptional at holding onto a ball and be able to play it into them on the wing, beat a man with a scoop turn or a heel tilt chop or Ronaldo chop, and go around them and get into the space. They've both got exceptional pace, so they're able to break into the areas on counter attacks you need them to. And overall, I think they really complement each other. I like having wingers that are 1 foot each, so I don't like having 2 right footers or 2 left footers. I like having one that's left and one that's right. So the fact that I've got Sancho who can play on the right, who's a left winger, and Politano who's left footed, play on the left, it really, really helps the style of FIFA that I like to play. But if you wanted to play them inverted, for example, you could also do that. So playing Politano on the right, Sancho on the left, because they both got this really, really good knack at a single step inside and smacking a finesse far post. Or what I do, which is stepping the man and then hitting it near post, which pretty much all of the goals Politano scores in the highlights is exactly that, stepping inside and smashing it near post. So both of them as wide cams were some of the best I've used in the game this year. They were brilliant players. Balotelli, I think he's a little bit behind the power curve of the game now because of that low balance and the fact that his pace isn't really exceptional. It's 87, I think it is on the card. I think now you need a little bit more than that, but still, you'll see he scores some brilliant goals for me. He's got the outside of the foot trait, which really, really helps when you're trying to go for those near post shots in tight angles. And overall, he's really good at receiving the ball to feet and turning the man and shrugging off defenders. Maldini gets bounced by him, Van Dijk gets bounced by him. He's just a really, really big bloke. And the problem you have with big strikers in this game is they often feel really sluggish, but he doesn't feel sluggish because of that really high agility that he has. And like I say, it's just that balance that really lets him down. But overall, the front three as a collective were brilliant for me. I scored a lot of goals with them. If I was going to give them any weakness as a trio, I'd say against better teams with better defenders, their pace, there's something missing. You know, you've got Neymar, Messi, Ben Yedder that always seem to have that cutting edge that allows you to win a game that you maybe shouldn't. I think that's something that's missing from this team, that genuine superstar attacker. You know, someone like R9 in the middle there would make a huge difference to this attack. But obviously, it's only worth 2 million coins. Not many strikers you can get in that budget that would be better than these. So I hope you enjoyed the gameplay there and my review of the players individually. Like I said, I think overall the team is probably like an 8 out of 10. You know, it's a really solid team, and it's going to get you some good results in the weekend league. But as team of the season comes around, you know, how many of these are going to be replaced by better players? I mean, I think the answer is quite a few. I think if there's players in this squad that you're going to pick up for your own team, I think Lena and Alaba are two definites. They're absolutely fantastic. Quite difficult to link because of that Austrian nationality, but they're such good players together and they link so well. I definitely recommend them. Sancho and Politano as well are exceptional. They're really good players. Sancho's a bit difficult against team, but because most English players on this game are dreadful, especially the icons. But if you've got one, you've got Gerrard or Lampard from icon swaps, easily put them in with him. And Politano, like I said, he's one of my favourite players in the game. If you haven't done his 87 card, I played over 300 games with that card. I played over 100 with this card. I mean, if you look at his return for me, 108 games, 53 goals, 39 assists. And a lot of them are coming off the bench as a sub in FUT Champs games, and he's been exceptional. And the last player I'd really recommend is Perez. I think he's so good in that midfield pivot role, moving the ball from defense to attack. So that's it. That's the squad. That's how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's any questions you have about the team at all, please put them in the comment sections. I'll get back to you. If there's any other players that you'd like me to use in a squad builder, or any teams you'd like me to have a look at and maybe try out myself, let me know. Put it all in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. See you later, guys.